Failure is always an option. See if we chose that option after the titles. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, the Mile Train Outsider, the American Outsider, a Night of the Rhomboid Table, here with the next episode of the Fowler Car Experience. The series was titled The Fowler Car Failures a few years ago, and I probably should change the title, but Failure or Success. Let's get to it. When I left you off, I had done one side. Well, I had to cut an access so I could do the other side. So that access is cut, and Delmenhorst is in a state of ruin right now. But I did get the rest of the magnetic tape in, and then I covered it with the Bush road tape. So magnetic tape and then road tape. There are glitches and mess ups, but and to be honest, the road looks like crap, but I'm hoping once I get some paint and buff some things down, it will look a little better. But as it is, I have it at a point where it's not 100% working the way it should, but we're very, very well, consistent's the wrong word, but we're having a lot more success than no success. So let me show you what I've done over the last couple of days and come back.
All right, so I've got another 5 meters, or about 16, 17 feet of magnetic road tape from Wiesmann, and I've got another stop motor and plenty of road. Let's get it in over there. Okay, so the next step is I just sawed out an access hole so I can reach in here and do what I gotta do. I gotta Dremel a line and try to see what I can do to fix this staggered line there. But I also have to mark the line all the way through. Since I did this access, that one probably was unnecessary, but now I've got an access there and an access here, and I'm just hoping, well, here I can reach over. Now I got to put some support so I can put the board back in, but that's the next step. Okay, so the road tape is all in and around, done the angles. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't cover this reed sensor. So all that's left to do is to test. I accidentally did cover that reed sensor up there, but it was working. Now, one of the issues we had is we had a couple of rough patches here, and really it's not so much the tape or anything else. It's a combination of the table. It's kind of hard to see. There is a bump right here, a ridge that curls around from when I extended it. And at one time it was all level, but it's not anymore. And it's just going through, flatten it down, and making sure there is nothing for the ski coming this way to catch on. Where it's catching is right here. And we're just going to keep working on flattening that down. And it may take a lot of work and pressure. I had to do some patches because some things weren't working. I had to put an additional layer of the tape. But let's give this just a quick try. I'm not going to test the whole thing yet, but let's just give it a quick try. All right, so I've got the bus. Now, I'm expecting it to catch here, although I've been trying to work it so that's a little easier. Yeah, that worked. Unfortunately, by smoothing it down, I sent it off. Okay, let's work on it again. All right, the one problem spot is here. Everything else is working if I can get the wheel straight to grab onto the magnetic strip here. There we go. There you hear the motor pop. Going in. And battery's running low. But here's the problem spot. For some reason, it just loses its magnetism here. All right, so let's go for the next test and hopefully things will work. What I did was I doubled the magnetic tape here just to give it an extra area to grip, and that seems to be working. It comes around here, turns the motor, and it's going in. Now the other issue we've been having is sometimes when it comes out of this corner, there's a sunken bit of tape here, so I put another row of the tape on it. It's catching it, and it's staying on, and then it goes through there. That motor is currently not working. I haven't messed with it. I'll just have to adjust the reed sensor on it. Actually, I might have even unplugged it temporarily because I was unplugging things. I was down there, so I'll have to double check that. So the key is now to find out the problem areas and see if by adding a little tape, and then I may just paint them rather than just decide to take a loop there and correct himself. Because that really I thought would be the most problematic corner, because it is such a tight corner and going in, but he is going in. So, unfortunately, the road tape doesn't look great, but I think once I put a little coating of paint on it, we'll do it. And again, I have not worked on this inside area yet, hence my hole is still open. But, yeah. And yeah, there are just little patches here that where it's catching. So we will slowly work on that. And actually, a lot of it is fixing right here. Just as its wheel bumps here, that's where it's catching as it goes off the road. So we'll level that out. Sorry, I was stuck there and he went off. And yet, just make little adjustments. And then I will coat this road a little bit and hopefully it will all go out. But right now we're having consistent sex, not 100% like as you see there, but adding that little bit there helps him catch, and he goes around. Then we'll work on that area, get him stopping, because I actually want to put road tape over this, but the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking this tape really seems to be creating issues. And as you see, it's not consistent.
Okay, so as you can see, we really do have it mostly working. There's the one turnout and stop area. I still have to work on that area, which is why the hatch is still open. I have to do some work on that. And, excuse me. I'm debating on, I've got to put in the new stop motor, but I'm thinking of moving that stop, which means I have to plug and fill those gaps and see how everything works. And that will be for another video to see if I decide to do it, because there's a plan B that if I can't get that one motor to work consistently, then there is an alternate way to do it. So I'm content. I'm not thrilled because I had to do a lot more patching and adjusting than I thought, because when Artie left, we didn't have any other road tape in except the one piece that had always been there, and everything except the one stop was working, and now we're seeing the intermittent. But it's not that the motors aren't working. The motors are working. It is the road tape, and you drill a groove, but over time, believe it or not, the weight of the truck, which isn't that high, will push that magnetic strip down a little further into the groove, and then all of a sudden the tape acts as sort of a buffer and keeps the magnet from. And I think this is why most people who do Fowler car system either use the road and paint it, or they use the Fowler car mastic and just embed the wire or the tape in that. But unfortunately, I'm kind of committed to this now, which again was my hybrid system, which is why I'm going to take a couple minutes to talk about that. People talk about, oh, the Fowler car system looks so complicated. The Fowler car system itself is not complicated. Their bus stop system is not complicated. But I'm trying to make it do some things a little against its design because of the way this bus terminal operates. It would have been a lot easier if I just did a basic flow of traffic and had the buses go in, say, the opposite way, or have the roads run opposite. But again, this is one of the cases where I'm opting for reality. So I'm kind of asking these things to work against type a bit. And when you have very fine-tuned electronics, that can go. But again, as I've said from the very first video, although I call it the Fowler failures, the failure is operator error and smoothing out my design, knowing this is how I was going to go after I botched up the attempt at digital, and now I'm trying to get it to work a little differently. So anyhow, it's miles ahead of where it was a year ago at this time, so that's a win. So there'll be a couple of more episodes in this, and eventually I'll get all that area painted and paved, but that's for a much later time. So until next time, I'm going to say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.